The AI arms race is actually a chip war. What if the most important battlefield on Earth isn't in Ukraine, isn't in the South China Sea, isn't in the Middle East, and isn't even in space? What if the most important battlefield on Earth is hidden inside a handful of factories? Factories protected like military assets, factories monitored by intelligence agencies, factories so important that governments quietly build national strategies around them. Because the next global superpower may not be decided by who has the most soldiers, or the most tanks, or the most missiles. It may be decided by who controls the chips that power artificial intelligence, and that race is already underway. Most people think AI is software, a chatbot, an image generator, a voice assistant, something that exists inside a screen, but that is only the visible layer. Behind every AI model is something much larger. Massive data centers, thousands of advanced processors, industrial cooling systems, power grids, global supply chains, fiber optic networks, and one uncomfortable reality. Without advanced chips, modern AI does not exist. No ChatGPT, no military AI targeting, no autonomous drone swarms, no advanced battlefield prediction systems, nothing. And that changes everything. Because unlike oil, advanced chips are not found naturally. They must be manufactured, and manufacturing them is incredibly difficult. The most advanced semiconductor facilities on Earth represent decades of engineering progress. The machines inside them are among the most complex systems ever built by humanity. A single defect can ruin entire production batches. A tiny interruption can delay supply chains across continents. And the entire world depends on them. Which creates a dangerous question. What happens if access to those chips becomes restricted? What happens if one country gains a decisive advantage? What happens if the future of AI depends on infrastructure controlled by only a few players? That is where this story begins. For most of modern history, power came from natural resources. Coal-powered industrial revolutions. Oil-powered the 20th century. Entire wars were fought over energy. Nations rose because they controlled critical resources. Others declined because they did not. But something is changing. Today, computation is becoming a strategic resource, and artificial intelligence is turning computation into power. The country with the best AI may gain advantages in science, in finance, in logistics, in intelligence gathering, in military planning, in manufacturing, and eventually, in warfare itself. That is why governments are spending billions of dollars trying to secure semiconductor supply chains. Because they understand something most people do not. The AI race is not just a software race. It is a hardware race, a power generation race, an infrastructure race, and perhaps most importantly, a chip race. Now consider something even more surprising. The world's most advanced AI systems do not run on ordinary computers. They require enormous computing clusters, rows upon rows of processors, thousands of high-performance chips working together. Some training runs consume extraordinary amounts of electricity. Some data centers consume as much power as small towns. And demand continues to grow. Every new generation of AI requires more computing power, more energy, more cooling, more infrastructure. Which means the future of AI is not limited by ideas. It is increasingly limited by physical resources. Electricity, factories, processors, and manufacturing capacity. That is why the AI race is becoming geopolitical. Because countries are no longer competing only for technology. They are competing for the ability to build technology. And there is one place that appears again and again whenever experts discuss advanced chips: Taiwan. A small island that has become one of the most strategically important locations on Earth. Not because of oil, not because of military size, but because of semiconductor manufacturing. A huge share of the world's most advanced chips depends on facilities located there. That means decisions made in boardrooms and factories on one island can influence industries across the entire planet. Artificial intelligence, consumer electronics, cloud computing, military systems, financial networks. Everything becomes connected, which is why global powers pay such close attention to semiconductor production, because they know that future power may depend on it. Now let's connect this directly to warfare. For thousands of years, wars were limited by human speed. Humans identified threats. Humans analyzed information. Humans made decisions. Humans issued orders. Humans pulled triggers. But AI changes that equation. Modern systems can analyze enormous quantities of information at extraordinary speed. Satellite imagery, radar signals, drone feeds, electronic warfare data, communication intercepts. Instead of minutes, decisions may happen in seconds. Instead of monitoring one target, systems may track thousands simultaneously. Instead of assisting commanders, future systems may increasingly influence battlefield outcomes themselves. And that creates a completely different kind of arms race. Because military superiority may no longer depend only on weapons. It may depend on computing power. The country that processes information faster gains an advantage. The country that identifies threats first gains an advantage. The country that coordinates autonomous systems more effectively gains an advantage. Speed becomes power, and chips become strategic assets. But there is another problem. Artificial intelligence consumes energy. A lot of energy. Every search, every generated image, every simulation, every military model, every AI prediction, all require electricity, which means the future of AI is also linked to energy infrastructure, power plants, transmission networks, grid stability, energy security. The countries that can generate enormous amounts of reliable electricity may gain an important advantage in the AI era. Suddenly, the story becomes bigger than software, bigger than technology. It becomes a story about national power. And that brings us to the most important question. What happens if one country achieves a significant AI lead? History suggests that technological advantages rarely remain isolated. They spread into economics, into military capability, into political influence, into global power structures. The internet changed the world. Smartphones changed the world. Artificial intelligence may change far more, because unlike previous technologies, AI can potentially accelerate progress across multiple industries simultaneously, which means whoever leads may gain advantages in many areas at once. That possibility is driving massive investments, massive competition, and growing geopolitical tension, because nobody wants to be left behind. Now imagine the future. Autonomous drone swarms, AI-assisted military planning, real-time battlefield prediction, cyber operations conducted at machine speed, advanced logistics systems coordinating entire supply chains, financial systems reacting instantly to global events, scientific discoveries accelerated by AI models, industrial production optimized continuously. The country controlling the infrastructure behind these systems gains leverage, not just military leverage, economic leverage, technological leverage, strategic leverage. And all of it begins with chips, which is why the next great geopolitical struggle may not be remembered as an AI race. It may be remembered as a chip war, a silent competition already shaping the future, a competition for manufacturing, for electricity, for computation, for infrastructure, for influence, and ultimately, for power. Because in the 21st century, the nation that controls advanced computation may shape the future, and the nation that controls the chips behind that computation may shape the world. If you want to understand the hidden systems shaping power, technology, and the future of global competition, subscribe to Redline Brief.